Namaste to you all, and thank you for asking me to do this. It's something I'd shy away from. I've never done a full yoga class via video. I've only ever done one pose at a time, so this is all very new to me. I messed up earlier on. I had an hour-long practice done and recorded it, and it went a little bit skew-ways. So here I am, and I'm going to attempt to do this. Now look, I'm quite excited about doing it, but I'm equally as nervous, and it's quite surreal, the whole situation. Apart from the external situation, it's quite surreal doing this class virtually, because normally you guys are here, we have a little bit of banter, we set the scene, and it kind of just always feels right. So this feels a little bit odd, to say the least. Anyway, without further ado, I don't want to overextend the hour. I just want to keep it pretty concise, just in case I do have to break up the video, and I don't want it chopped up too much. For those of you who didn't read my kind of Facebook blurb, I'm planning on doing a 5-week course on topics on the vayus of the body, and the vayus of the body are related to the winds or the energy flows in the body, and there is 49 in total, by the way. The ancient sages would have accessed them all, but for us mere mortals, we'll stick to the 5, and we're going to do one a week. And this week it's going to be Prana vayu, and you'll have heard me speak or talk about the prana, and the prana is the life force or the energy. And vayu is the wind, and this particular wind starts in the heart center, moves inwards and then up through the chest, neck and head. Okay, what would I say? Yes, so it feeds the chest, neck and head. The other thing, because it's located in the heart center, the Anahata Chakra, and this is the 4th chakra of the energy channels that run along the main channel called Sushumna Nadi, which is basically the spine. It starts here, and because of that we are going to do a practice that finds extension in the front body, opens the front body, and we're going to try and home in on that subtle, so it's a subtle body energy flow. It's a very subtle energy. And we use the breath to create the poses. We use the breath at all times, as you know. Okay, so without further ado, let's just begin to access this vayu that's located in the heart center and start our practice. Let's begin to close the eyes, open up the front body, sit nice and tall as we do. Close your eyes if you haven't already, and let's create stability in this particular Prana vayu. And thank you for joining me. Okay, so closing the eyes, let's begin to elongate the front of the body. Maybe lift the rib cage slightly, and broaden through the front of the sternum, the chest bone, and begin to take a deep breath in and use the belly, that extension of the belly and the chest, fill it up. And then as you exhale, allow the breath to softly release. Again, breathing in, finding extension, finding lift and lengthen through the front of the body, and then on the exhale, maybe just allow the shoulders to move away from the earlobes as you release the breath. Again, breathing in, extending, opening, and exhaling to release. Okay, we're going to use the 3-part yogic breath for our pranayama, our breathing technique. So bring your right hand to your tummy, left hand to your heart. And when you bring your left hand to your heart, I want you to notice, so this practice is going to be really homing in on sensations, focusing our senses on the heart and this emotional center that we call the chest. Okay, so breathing in, finding extension through the belly, but particularly lifting up through the heart. Allow your tailbone to stick out slightly as you breathe in, fill up. And exhale, pull it in, release it all the way out. Again, breathing in, lengthening up. Exhaling. So during this time of possible elevated stress levels, some more varying in varying degrees than others, this particular vayu, if it's out of balance, if it's weakened, it's said to create fuzziness of the mind, so your mind can't concentrate very well. And it's also believed that it causes excess worry. So if we have already external reasons to be stressed out, or that stress response turned on, then we don't want to exacerbate it. And this will create a little bit of balance, hopefully. Okay, again, breathe into the tummy this time. So actively breathe into the belly, let the chest lift. And then when you think you're full, look for that collarbone breath as we do, 3-part yogic breath. Exhale, release the breath, empty out fully. And you can use the out breath via the mouth for this, so empty out fully. And then go ahead, begin again. Filling the tummy, front and sides, and then the chest. Exhale, release all the way out to the mouth. And then one last time, tummy, front and sides, and then the chest. So maybe feel the heartbeat, feel the chest expand, ribcage lift and open, and then up for your collarbone breath. Exhale, softly release. Okay. Release the hands down by your side, and then just take another gentle breath in. Go ahead and keep your eyes closed. Go ahead and deep breath in, lifting up, and over accentuating the lower lumbar curve as you bring the shoulders forward, up and back. Inhale, look up. Exhale, round through the spine, let the shoulders slightly come forward, tuck the belly in, so begin to activate the abdominal wall, drop the chin in. Hold it here for a couple of seconds. I want you to invite the stretch just in the upper spine and note the sensations. So we really are tuned in to this practice, constantly connected, feeling, hearing and experiencing. Inhale, slowly come back up. Let the shoulders lift forward, up and back, and maybe begin to activate the upper back body just that little bit more by pulling the shoulder blades in. Inhale to look up. And hold it here for a few breaths. So feeling the weight of the shoulders, feeling gravity, begin to pull the shoulders down. Don't let the head hang back, so you're creating a little bit of toning and support. Maybe pull the chin in slightly. I know it's hard to take breaths, so the little breaths in and out. Well done. Inhale, come all the way back to the front, so bring your gaze back around to the front. And then breathe in, lift your arms forward, up and over, take the heels of your hands together, all 10 fingers to touch. And then take a deep breath in, go ahead and broaden through the front of the chest again. Drop your fingertips down between your shoulder blades, using the in-breath to find that opening up through the intercostal muscles, that lifting and lengthening with the breath, so finding that inner space. And that opening, I want you to notice the sensations as we roll the heads of the shoulder blades in towards center. And then allow the elbows to open out, use the breath, inhaling, exhaling, inhaling. Get heavy in the foundation, don't let the knees lift, exhaling. And you might begin to feel a little fatigue just below the shoulder blades. So take one more breath in, inhale, exhale, release the hands, float them all the way down, back to the thighs, and then just gently roll out the shoulders. So we're just beginning to open up Anahata Chakra and access perhaps perhaps this subtle energy flow called Prana, vayu. Okay. And then reach the right arm behind the back. Take the right wrist with the left hand. Keep the hip bones pointing forward. Shoulders can stay forward, and then go ahead and begin to lift the lower ribs. Inhale, pull gently the right hand, the fingertips down towards the left hand side of the body, lower back. Maybe lift the gaze slightly to allow this rolling of the shoulders towards the back body. And then use the breath. I want you to feel that stretch across the intercostal muscles, or really are beginning to feel the heart open. Inhale, exhale. Obviously at any point in the video you can, the benefit of this recording is that you can pause it or stop it if you want, take a drink or whatever you need to do. Inhale, gently release, take the hands back to the thighs, roll out the shoulders before we begin on the other side. Lovely. Inhale, and then turn the palm towards the back of the mat, reach it behind the back, go ahead and take your left wrist in your right hand, hips still pointing forward, and then we're going to broaden through the front body again, pulling the shoulders back and then reaching the fingertips of the left hand towards the bottom right hand corner of your back. So use the breath, feel the stretch, and you can decide how deep you want to go into the pose to begin with. So maybe start off gently. As we work through the practice, we'll begin to invigorate it and we will have a peak pose. So inhale, look forward. Keep the shoulders drawing back. Keep that stretch across the shoulder girdle and the collarbone, and keep the chest lifted. Inhale, and then exhale, slowly release. Go ahead and roll out the shoulders again. And obviously at any point, because we're sitting cross-legged for a while in Sukhasana, if you want to undo the legs, stretch them out, be my guest. Okay. Now, reach the hands back, interlace the fingers, begin to reach them down towards the lower back, and then do that rolling of the shoulder blades again in towards center. Begin to pull the hands, feel that stretch, almost feel like you're creating expansion through the front of the body and sort of contracting through the back body. Take a deep breath in. And then as you exhale, we're just going to begin to shine the heart forward, extending slightly forward. So you'll have no option but to get heavy in the foundation here, but don't let your bum lift necessarily. And then we're going to begin to reach the arms, maybe away from the lower back. So take it nice and softly to begin with. So gingerly move the hands away. You're going to really feel that stretch through the armpit chest, which is perfect. Take a deep breath in. Exhale. And on the next exhale, so take a deep breath in. On the next exhale, begin to hinge forward. Keeping long through the side body, keeping that opening through the front of the chest. Inhale, exhale. See, can you stay heavy in the bum? Now you're going to begin to continue to keep the heart open as you reach forward. And maybe at this point, halfway down, so whatever feels comfortable, begin to allow gravity, pull your head forward, and maybe take the hands up and over. Feel the stretch. Notice the breath. So subtle breaths here. Inhaling, exhaling, and then keep the chin plugged in as you begin to take it back up into seated position. Allow the hands to return to the lower back. You're going to feel a bit of tingling. Release the hands and then slowly peel the chin away from the chest, and then do that rolling of the wrists, clench and release of the hands, and bring a bit of circulation back in. So just find a bit of isolated movement maybe in the wrists first, and then take the arms into movement. Lovely. Okay, so reach the arms all the way back down to your sides. Begin to take a deep breath in. I want you to find that lovely broadening through the top of the chest. Inhale, lift your arms out shoulder high, palms facing upwards. Exhale, take your fingertips towards your shoulders, the top of your shoulders, and then go ahead and make little little circles to start with. So your elbows are pointing out to the bottom end, left and right of your mat. Create a bit of tone in your belly by dropping the tailbone and finding a bit of support from the front of the body. And we kind of level out that lower lumbar curve just for now. So creating a little bit of support from the front. And then inhale, lift the chest, begin to open up and begin to make your circles a bit wider. Use the breath, inhaling, exhaling. And then inhale, take the elbows, lift them, open up, chest rises, elbows are proud, and then use the breath to hold it here. Maybe create a little bit of tone. Let the fingers move away from the shoulders, clench the fists, feel a bit of tone in the biceps, and then go ahead and pull the elbows back towards the back body, finding that stretch through all the soft tissue and particularly at the rib cage. Inhaling, looking forward, exhaling. Keep the belly drawing in, inhale, a little bit, exhale. One more breath in, well done, exhale, float the hands all the way down, roll out the shoulders, good. Okay, use this opportunity to keep centered with the breath. Maybe tune into any sensations in the front of the body. Taking the breath, as always, particularly in this practice, in towards center and allow it to rise up a bit like Uddiyana Bandha, and we will practice. We'll invite deep Uddiyana Bandha as we work through this practice, okay? Take your block, if you were sitting on a block, or anything that was propping your hips up, maybe not. And then slowly come around onto all fours, take your hands, you know where, and take your knees hip width apart. Okay, we're going to begin to inhale and stretch into the toes of the right foot. Take a deep breath in, you're going to come up onto the fingertips of the right hand as you stack the hips, one on top of the other, and I want you to firmly press down to the top of that left foot and the left shin to inhale and open it up. Take a deep breath in, we're going to reach the right arm up and over. I want you to lift the lower left rib forward, feel that stretching through the front of the body, and let's just hold it here. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, pull the toes into kind of dorsiflexion. So we're reaching the toes back towards the body. Inhale to stretch. Exhale to pull in. All the while, your left hand is below your left shoulder. We're stacking shoulder over wrist, hip on top of hip. Inhale to stretch the toes. Exhale to pull them back. This time, inhale, stretch the toes. And on the exhale, I want you to grab a bit of imaginary energy with your fist and then pull knee to elbow, elbow to knee. I don't want you to crunch forward or drop forward, so just hold that lower left rib, really using abdominal strength here to create stability. So the foundation is the left hand, the left shin, the top of the left foot, and we're using a bit of core as part of this structure. Inhale to stretch. Exhale to drop it back. Take your knees together. Rest your sit bones back on your heels. Forehead can drop. Extend into the arms. Maybe lift. Press into the heels and hands. Lift the fingertips up. Clench and release. So without me even telling you this, obviously the beauty of this, you've been on the other end of the video, you can work that in. So do whatever feels good. It's very much a yogi's choice here. Just to release the wrists. And then we're slowly going to come back up on the in-breath, back up onto all fours, placing particularly the left wrist underneath the right wrist underneath the right shoulder, and then inhaling, stretching into the toes of the left foot. So foundation here is right hand, right shin and the top of the right foot. Go ahead, come up onto the fingertips of the left hand as you begin to stack left hip on top of right hip. Find a little bit of stability, lift your arm up and over. Shoulders stacked over wrist, hips stacked on one another. Belly draws in, so find a bit of core strength. And then inhale, lengthen into the toes, plantar flexion. Exhale, dorsiflexion. Inhale to stretch, exhale to draw in. Inhale to stretch, exhale to draw in. And then the next inhale, I want you to stretch the toes away from the body, reach the arm up and over, and then go ahead and lift the chest and open. Use the fingers, stretch into the fingers, and listen to the breath. Inhaling, exhaling, inhaling, exhaling. Feeling the prana begin to move through the body, the energy. I want you to concentrate where you feel that energy. Utilize it. Take a deep breath in, draw the navel in and up. And then on the exhale, let's begin to grab a fistful of energy. Take the knee to the elbow. Keep the lower right rib forward. Belly draws in to create a little bit of contraction through the front of the tummy. A little bit of toning. Inhale. And then on the exhale, drop it down. This time, open out to the knees. Take the hands to the mat. Don't drop the forehead. And let's begin to massage out the hips. And particularly after that pose, breathe into the stretch. And let the heart lift. Inhaling, exhaling. Preferably through the nose, unless you're feeling a little congested. Inhale, exhale. Okay, come all the way back up on all fours. Take the knees back towards center and then walk your arms forward. Hands flat on the mat. I'm going to take it into a kind of puppy dog pose here, and this is going to accentuate that stretch across the armpit chest. Really opens up the chest. And word of caution always in this pose, the further you melt the heart towards the mat, the more, the deeper you move in the pose. So you decide. You are in control of your body and you know how far you can go. So be patient and move into the practice slowly. Take a deep breath in, and then on the exhale, let's begin to bow the head towards the mat. You can rest the forehead on the mat. Use the in-breath to allow the shoulders to move slightly away from the mat. Maybe tone the belly here, and then on the exhale, you're going to allow the tailbone draw out. You're going to allow the front of the body to really open up. All the way from the lower belly, really, through the front of the chest, and that stretch across the armpits. So as you inhale, allow the heart to lift away from the mat, find a little bit of relief, and then on the exhale, begin to soften and open. I want you to do it a few times. I'm not going to talk while you do it because I want you to really feel the breath. I want you to feel the sensations. So let's do 3 rounds of breath. Finding stretch. You can reach the arms a little bit further forward if you don't feel the stretches as intense as you'd like it. So move within the parameters of sensation. It should never ever hurt. One more breath, inhaling, allowing the shoulders to lift slightly, and then on the exhale, go ahead and melt. Open, stretch. Lovely, inhale, lift the head, walk the hands all the way back in, and then take them back. Knees draw in, and we're going to sit in this variation of Virasana. Or for those of you who have a block, take your block, pass it between the upper thighs, sit back, make sure there's no jarring of the knees, so knees are in line with the hips, and the ankles are in line with the knees. No jarring of joints here, just going to find a little bit of stretch, a little bit of opening through the front of the body. After that pose, just for a little bit of counter, a little bit of release across the shoulders, particularly as it was quite an intense pose. I want you to gently release the shoulders. Maybe take them forward in a tandem motion from front to back. And then go ahead and bring the hands to touch the feet, the toes, or maybe to bring them behind the toes. It depends on what way you want to do this. And then inhale, I want you to allow the tailbone, reach out, and then breathe in, pull the chin gently in towards the chest, rolling the back body in towards the center line, and lifting the heart. Inhaling, exhaling. Inhaling, feeling the stretch, exhaling. Another breath in. Exhaling, allowing the shoulders to get heavy and move away from the earlobes. And then inhale, slowly come back up. Take the hands forward, gently drop the elbows so that they're kind of railway tracking side by side. Make sure your knees and hips are still in line, and then gently move from left to right. We're just going to find a little bit of fluidity across the hips. Give them a bit of counter pose. And then slowly come back up. And this time we're going to come up onto the knees. Kick your block behind you. Take the knees underneath the hip points. And then breathe in, reach the arms up and over. Interlace the fingers. Have your index fingers pointing skyward maybe. Lift the heart. Pull the upper arms in towards the ears. And then inhale. We're going to gently begin to lean back. I want you to pull the cheeks, the gluteus maximus in towards center to find a little bit of support. And this is going to create stretch, opening, lifting, using the breath to lift. Exhale, slightly come forward. This time inhale, lift and lengthen. Maybe pull the fingertips back slightly. Keep the upper arms really drawing in. Exhale, come forward one more time. Pressing down, so pressing down, rooting down through the knees, find the energy, rise back up, lift and lengthen. And then on the exhale, float the hands down, kiss the sit bones off the heels, take your hands down to your knees, go ahead and press your knees away, allow the armpits to draw in, tuck the chin in towards the chest, keep the rib cage lifting, take a few breaths. This time as you breathe in, I want you to really actively pull the belly in, and then as you exhale, release the belly out. Inhale, draw the navel in towards the spine. Exhale, and then maybe exaggerate, let the belly stick out. I can't see, so you can really go all out for this one. Inhale, draw the belly in. Sorry, inhale and relax the belly, and then on the exhale, draw the navel in. Well done. Inhale, come back up on the knees, interlace the fingers. Inhale to lift and lengthen, rooting down to rise up. Find extension and lift. Inhale, chin draws in, bum draws in towards center, lift and lengthen. Find the stretch. Exhale. Take the hands all the way down to the mat. Place your hands below your shoulders, knees below your hips. And then begin to allow the top of the arm bones plug into the shoulder socket, that glenohumeral cavity. Allow the heart to melt towards your mat. Tailbone can draw out. Find extension through the side body. Inhale, tuck the toes, and then exhale. That's lifted into downward dog. It's going to feel really good after those couple of stretches. So downward dog, we're getting a lovely stretch in the top of the shoulders, down through the elbows and into the wrists, obviously. Claw down through the fingertips. Keep the hips high, maybe you want to stay on the toes. Feel the lovely stretch down the back of your legs. Take a deep breath in, and then maybe exhale, begin to journey the heels somewhere in relation to the mat. And let's begin to find the energy of this pose, which lies at the bottom of the heart in between the shoulder blades. And from that point, I want you to hug the shoulder blades in towards center, begin to find the energy, push it down towards your hands, and then go ahead and push the hands away from the mat, lifting that energy through the center lines of both arms back up into that focal point of energy in between the shoulder blades. Feel the energy of the pose, feel the stretch across your armpits and obviously through the sternum and rib cage. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, bend the knees, take the chest towards the knees. Feel that extension now towards the top or the collarbone as you draw in. Inhale, relax it back into a strong dog. Straight arms, straight legs, deep breath in. Inhale up on the toes, exhale, and then draw the knees in. We're going to really note the sensations here. So you're going to feel that energy, particularly across the top of the shoulder blades, stretching through the front of the collarbone. Well done. Exhale, drop the heels. Inhale, come forward into plank. Okay, so you're going to take your shoulders over your wrists, stack it up, and begin to pull the navel in towards the spine as we create a bit of energy, zipping up through the abdominals. Sit bones in line with the heels, and this nice strong pose. Begin to plug the shoulder, the top of the shoulders again in towards the socket. And let's begin to seesaw forward and back and allow the prana to begin to move through the body. So I'm just going to be quiet for a moment. I want you to take 3 rounds of breath. So I want you to feel the energy. So that little bit of shake, that little bit of definitely energy and that force as it draws inward and upward. Okay, move back into regular plank, shoulders stacked. Take a deep breath in, look towards the mat. On the exhale, come on the knife edge of the feet as you take it into plank on the left. Notice left shoulder is very much stacked over the wrist. Deep breath in, so that the body, side body's sinking, hug it in. Keep it engaged. Inhale to look up. Exhale to draw in. So we're going to thread the needle. Inhale, reach up. Keep it strong. Keep the legs really straight. In fact, squeeze the legs towards one another. Feel the energy supporting there. Inhale to exhale. Inhale, going to feel the prana now. Inhale, exhale. Oh, side body's kicking in. Inhale to stretch. Exhale to take it back into regular plank. Okay. If you're feeling like the wrists need a break here, you can drop it down to the knees. Pause the video, take a break. But for those of you who are really want to work it out, continue. And then we're going to inhale, exhale, take it to the knife edge of the feet, the inner feet, edges of the feet, and then go ahead. Left arm is below, right arm is below right wrist here. Inhale to stretch up. Notice my hips want to dip, so let's create the energy and the support. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, thread the needle. Inhale to stretch. Maybe stretch into the fingers, feel the energy and that tingle. Exhale to draw in. Inhale, this time open up. Take that lower right rib forward. Lift the heart, stretch and open. Exhale for the last one, doing fabulous. Inhale, good. Exhale, take the knees to the mat, crisscross the feet, and let's do a variation of chaturanga here if it's available to you this evening. Otherwise, just come straight down. So we're going to bend the elbows, allow the elbows to point towards the back of the mat. Keep them hugging in towards the side body, and then do it nice and controlled. Maybe look towards the mat. Shoulders don't dip. We keep holding here. Navel draws in. And exhale, well done, release. And let's go into full body traction, reaching the arms forward, lengthening into the legs behind. Everything pressing down towards the mat, tops of the feet touching, connected. And then just listen to the breath for a few rounds. And allow it to kind of settle a wee bit. And because your heart is touching the ground, I want you to tune into your rhythm, maybe an elevated rhythm for now. Feel the energy. Connect inwards. This is a subtle energy. This Prana vayu, we call it a subtle body energy. Another breath in, and on the exhale, I want you to tuck the toes. Go ahead and allow the knees to lift. Feel that tone through the quadriceps, the front of the upper thighs, that engagement and lengthening of the calves. And then reach your arms behind your back, interlace your fingers, and then go ahead and begin to roll the shoulder blades again, activating upper section of the back to draw in, and then inhale, press down, rise up. Exhale to drop. Inhale, keep the toes tucked, bum can draw towards center, lift it up. Exhale, drop. Keep the energy in the legs, you're going to feel a bit of shake. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, drop down. On the next inhale, we rise up. I'm going to invite you to lift the hands away from the lower back. So really lifting the heart, stretching through the front of the body. Inhale, rise up. Exhale to release, really well done. We're going to do two more. Inhale, pull the shoulder blades away from the ears as you use the breath to create the buoyancy. Exhale, relax it down. Notice pubic bone is very much connected to the mat and the tops of the toes. Inhale, rise up. And exhale, release it all the way down. Drop all 10 toes, release the hands either side of the body. Maybe take the right cheek to the mat, take a few breaths, take a breather. Inhaling, exhaling. Noticing without going into autopilot as you breathe in, your chest expanding and moving you away slightly from the mat, and then the exhale, that dropping forward of the shoulders, that relaxing through the shoulder blades. One more breath here, and then we're going to take the hands either side of the rib cage. Keep the tops of the feet connected, pull the elbows in towards center, and then spreading into the fingers, inhale, lift it into Bhujangasana, half lift. I want you to hold it here and find a bit of sukha in the stirrup, a bit of ease with the effort here as we create that lovely stretch to the lower back. Stretching legs behind, inhale, look forward, keep the heart lifted, open, and deep breath in. On the exhale, look towards the right. Inhale to center. Exhale to the left, controlling nice and gentle movements. And then inhale back to center. And then relax it all the way down. Again, hands can take and move towards the side body, palms upward. Take a deep breath in. And again, let's really stay connected. That conversation, keep it going with the breath. Inhaling, exhaling. And then inhale, we're going to take it up into Shalambhasana, Locust Pose. So really lift the shoulders away from the mat. Extend into the fingertips. Maybe pull the hand or the palms towards the ceiling. Really stretch into the legs. Use the breath, create the buoyancy and the lift. And the stretch to the front of the body. Exhale, well done, release it down. Okay, if this feels a bit intense now, we're going to take the hands back either side of the rib cage, tuck the toes, lift it up and back. You're going to kiss the sit bones off the heels, go into a counter pose after all that back stretch and lower back particularly. Keep the arms extended into Balasana if you can. And listen to the breath. So we're going to take deep, well, you're going to allow your breath to find its natural rhythm, but you're going to stay centered to it, anchored to the breath. So deep breath in. Feel the belly expand, maybe the chest lifts away slightly from the upper thighs, and then on the exhale, that softening of the front body towards the legs, the top of the thighs as you exhale. I want you to really tune into that inner breath, inner flow, maybe that inner wind. Inhale, exhale. Okay, one more breath. You might want to pause the video here and take a little drink, as I do. Always good to rehydrate. What time are we? Good. All right, let's take the bum down to the mat. Reach the feet forward and just begin to lift the bum from side to side. And find Dandasana. Okay, reaching into the legs, keeping the toes lively, pointing skyward, and taking the hands maybe down to assist with this beautiful right angle pose, legs in relation to the back. You can use the hands, create the resistance, and then begin to gently pull the top of the shoulders away from the earlobes. Keep the heart lifted. I want you just to find a few breaths here in this precursor to all other seated poses. We find a little bit of neutral position in the body, and if you do it right, you can feel a little bit of prana in the legs, a little bit of stretch through the heart center, the Anahata Chakra. And then take another deep breath in. As you exhale, I want you to soften, walk the hands forward, hinging from the waist, but keeping the toes nice and active, and really finding stretch through the side body, so we're not compromising any length here. Heart can remain open and lifted in this pose, and then as you breathe in, relax your belly. As you exhale, tone it up, draw it in. Heart still stays broadened. Exhale. Maybe use a bit of resistance. We're going to take it into Tadasana. We're going to use the breath to find extension in this pose, and we're going to hold it for a couple of breaths and move incrementally further forward if that's available this evening. If not, please be kind, be patient with yourself. These are stressful times, and we don't want to create any excess stress at all. Okay, so deep breath in. Exhale, gently pull forward. You can keep shoulders back. Keep the heart lifted, look forward. Relax the belly as you breathe in. Exhale, maybe pull slightly on the feet for that resistance to take it further into the pose. Inhale, belly relaxes. Exhale. So remember, as you inhale, it's pro-contraction. And then the exhale creates extension. So it's an opportunity to find a bit of extra movement. Inhale to exhale. All the while, the back of the legs are going to be massively stretched. The hearts can stay lifted and the spine can stay long. Inhale and exhale. Gently reach forward. Beautiful. And then inhale, come all the way back up into seated position. And recalibrate. Lift the shoulders. Lift the heart. Find a little bit of counter pose. If the lower back lumbar curve was extended, I want you to allow your tailbone to draw out towards the back of the mat. I want you to feel that release in the lower back as you invite that curve back in, okay? Inhale, exhale. Feel the heart, feel the energy. And then on the exhale, soften the seat. Take your left foot around behind your lower left back. Right foot, right knee bends as the right sole draws into the inner left thigh. You can take your left foot and reach it back in toward your left glute. So that if you find that extra extension, please do. Both hips should be touching the ground, so if they're not, use your block, use your prop to rest your left hip on. And then inhale, reach the arms out shoulder high. Relax the shoulders down, relax the gaze, and then take the fingertips towards the sky, reach the inner elbows towards center, wrap right around left. Fingertips interlace if you like. And then inhale, we're going to begin to lift the elbows and allow the heart to reach and stretch towards front as the elbows draw up, shoulder blades kind of roll to, or shoulders roll forward. Inhale maybe to look up, and then exhale to take it slightly into counter pose. We're going to draw the belly in, work the elbows down towards the chest, allow the shoulders to draw in. So nice counter here, counter pose, as the weight of the head falls forward. Enjoy the stretch, so the shoulder blades move apart, the scapula move from left to right, and then inhale, press down to the seat bones, anchor the seat bones down as you lift and begin to raise your elbows back up. You're going to feel that stretch in the forearms as well as the biceps maybe, and the heart lifts. Inhale, look up, and then slowly exhale back in, release the hands, maybe drop them down towards the side body and roll out your shoulders. Just keep an eye on the time. Stretch into the legs. See, can you do that movement of the legs without actively using your hands or your energy, and then roll out the shoulders. Keep the toes active, and let's take it to the other side. Right foot draws back, left knee bends, sole of left foot draws into the inner right thigh. Get heavy in the seat bones, find a little bit of even weight, and if you haven't got it, use your prop. Okay, deep breath in, lengthen into the arms. Lift the heart, broaden through, maybe take the hands slightly, relax the shoulder blades down, fingertips skyward, inner elbows to touch. This time left arm around right as you interlace the fingers, get them as straightened as possible. Inhale, and then we're going to start to lift the elbows a little slightly above shoulder high. Keep the heart raised. Inhale to look up. And then exhale, we're going to allow the lower back to round through. Weight of the head to fall forward, find a little bit of stretch across the shoulder blades, navel draws in. And then inhale, unfurling the spine, articulating up, lifting and opening up through the chest slightly. Inhale to lift. Well done. Exhale, release it all the way down. Take your feet back into this position where the knees are below the lower back. Inhale, tuck your toes. Exhale, interlace the fingers, and then go ahead, and this will feel like a nice counter pose. Go ahead and pull the knuckles down towards the knees as you really open up through the chest, lifting and taking the shoulder blades in towards center again. Allow the chin to draw in so we're not letting gravity pull the head back. The cervical spine is very versatile but quite delicate. So inhale, allow your body, the weight of your body to reach back. If the knees feel a bit under duress or not comfortable, pad them, you know what to do. Inhale. Exhale, move forward, straighten up the spine, shoulders relax, belly relaxes, deep breath in. Exhale. Inhale, let's move back in this position. This time allow the hands move away from the lower back, squeeze the bum muscles in towards center, find the stretch, lift it open through the heart space, and then in the exhale, look for the heels if you can. Begin to really broaden through the front of the body. This is where we're actively pulling the heart forward, and then exhaling, pulling the chin in into Ustrasana, camel pose. Feel that stretch across the quadriceps and lower lumbar arch. Inhale, well done, exhale, and then slowly let all 10 toes, drop down to the mat, take it into this variation of Virasana. Relax the shoulders down. Breathe in, find length. Exhale, we can use this pose to rest the body, or if you prefer to take it into full Balasana, please do. Okay, so we're going to keep the heart lifted. Gentle breaths in and out. Inhale to exhale. Okay, well done. Inhale, come forward. Exhale, we're going to take it into a standing position at the front of the mat. And find our feet in Tadasana, pressing all four corners of the feet down towards the mat, toes pointed forward. In fact, little toes in line with the outer edge of the mat. And then breathe in, reach your arms forward, up and over, pull the thumbs back, and then on the exhale, you're going to drop the knees and take it into this Utkatasana, lightning bolt pose variation, or standing seated pose. So let the bum sit back, and we're going to pull the knees slightly in, squeezing the upper thighs towards one another. Let's go ahead and pull the thumbs back towards the back body and keep the chest nice and broad, the front of the body open, inhaling. And then as you exhale, dive forward, swim the hands all the way down to the mat, pressing away from the mat into Urdhva Uttanasana. As you lift your head, allow the lower back to draw out, maybe press the feet towards the ground as you squeeze the legs towards one another to get a bit of energy. Exhale, drop it down, relax the legs, full Uttanasana. You can use the hands behind the ankles, keep the knees soft if that feels good, and then using a bit of resistance as you exhale to pull the hands towards the ankles as the head draws towards the shins in that full beautiful stretch, finding the hamstrings kick in slightly. Inhale to lengthen, press into the front of the ankles, and maybe take it into a slight flat back position. Go ahead and pull the shoulders away from the side of the head, find a little bit of length, look towards the mat, don't lose the back of the neck here by dropping the head forward. We're going to keep the energy running throughout the Sushumna Nadi from the top of the spine all the way down to the bottom and vice versa. Inhale, exhale. I want you to keep the action in the legs, pulling the inner thighs towards one another. Inhale, and on the exhale, look towards the right. Inhale to center, exhale to the left. So it's slight flat back position. Inhale to center, exhale to the right. Keep your legs nice and strong. You're going to feel a bit of Prana. Inhale, exhale. Lovely. Inhale. Take the hands, walk the feet back into dog, head down. Go ahead and pull the upper arms in towards the side of the ears, pressing into the heels of the hands, and then from that center point in the bottom of the heart, I want you to find that energy again running through the center lines of the arms. Inhale up your toes. Maybe exhale to pull the lower ribs in towards the hip tips. Find that engagement and that solidity to the front of your lower belly. Inhale, exhale. Keep the left heel drawing down as you reach the right leg up and over. You can allow the hips to go off square, but keep your hands evenly pressing down towards the mat. Take the toes of your right foot, open them out towards the left. Feel that beautiful stretch. Maybe take the lower left rib and look lower left rib forward as you look underneath your right armpit. Inhale, begin to keep the back arched as you reach and lift right knee towards the heart center. Squeeze and lift, and then exhale, step it through to the front of your mat. Begin to squeeze the inner thighs towards each other, get the legs nice and activated. And then inhale, take your hands up on your hips, roll the back inner thigh towards center, so keep that knee lifted. Inhale, reach your arms forward, stretch through, and then on the exhale, maybe bend the back knee slightly, pull the elbows back towards the back body, squeeze your glutes towards center, lift the heart. Inhale to exhale. Inhale, draw it back, drop the knee slightly, squeeze your bum Let the heart lift, stretching through. Inhale to rise up. Exhale to open. Well done. Inhale, drop the hands all the way back to the mat. Drop the top of the left foot on the left knee. Inhale, press down, rise up. Take your hands on your hips and then begin to find a little bit of ease in the breath. Take a deep breath in. Exhale. So stacking through the spine, find a little bit of rhythm in the breath. Inhale. And as you exhale, drop your left hand down to the inside of your right foot. Go ahead and look for your left foot. So if your knee is feeling uncomfortable, I want you to roll your mat in. That's an option. Roll the mat in and then slowly bend through. Find the top of your left foot. Make sure your right knee is stacked over your right ankle, and then breathe in, press down, begin to open it up. So we're lifting the lower left ribs forward. You're going to find your quadricep of your left leg stretch through. Inhale to lift. Exhale. Relax it, and then inhale, exhale, draw the heel towards the bum. Allow the right shoulder blade to move in towards the spine as you lift and open through the heart space. Well done. Exhale, drop your hand, open out your mat if that's the case, and then take your right knee in line with your left heel. Heels connect with the sit bones and take it into your lovely Dandasana, child's pose, keeping an eye on the time. Okay. Inhaling, exhaling. So find your breath. Keep it anchored. Keep the present moment present and alive. Feel the energy from the practice. Feel that stretch across the rib cage particularly. And then inhale, exhale, slowly take it back up onto all fours. Let's run through that again, stretching the hands down towards the mat, melting the heart. Inhale to tuck the toes, exhale to lift the hips nice and high. And then inhale, exhale, maybe slightly drop the right heel to lift the left leg, opening through the hips to anchor the hands evenly down to the mat. You're going to turn the right rib cage towards left to allow stretch across the left hand. Finding the heart opens, maybe to look under the armpit. Drop the toes of the left foot towards the right. Inhale, exhale, begin to pivot around the front. Take left knee in towards center. Squeeze and lift, and then exhale. Go ahead and step it through. Frame the left foot with the right hand. Pull that left hip crease back, and then begin to squeeze everything towards center, activating the legs, and then lift it up. Breathe in, reach the arms up and over. Exhale, pull the elbows back, and then take a deep breath in, reaching forward. And as you exhale, maybe drop the right knee towards the mat a little bit. Pull the elbows back towards the back body, lifting the heart. Inhale to stretch. Exhale to draw it back. Feel the energy. Feel the openness through the front of the body. Inhale one more time. You're doing great. Exhale. Begin to lift the heart. Find that opening of the emotional body. Don't cry. It's almost done. And then exhale, rail the hands down to the mat. Drop the right knee and the top of the right foot. Plant your right hand, and then go ahead and bend your right knee to look for your right toes or your right heel. So again, if it feels like the knee's not happy, definitely bend your mat in, and you know what to do. And then look for your toes again. This time, make sure your left ankle is stacked below your knee. Take a deep breath in, and then let's reach the right rib cage towards the left, and then begin to open up to the heart space. Drop the left shoulder away from the ear. Draw the heel of the bent knee in towards your bum to intensify the stretch. You decide. And then exhale, release it back, undo your mat. And then go ahead, drop your bum back, and then take it into Balasana. Find your breath. So the practice is nearly here at peak pose. And in peak pose, we're going to take Urdhva Dhanurasana, upward facing bow, okay? To find that massive extension to the front of the body. So take a few breaths here, and then we're going to gently come forward, dropping the forehead, bending the knees, and reaching back for the ankles. So pull the knees back in towards center, and then using that lift and stretch to the front of the body by taking the shoulder blades instantly back away from the side of the ears. Breathe in, use the breath. Press down and rise up. Exhale to release, maybe try it again. Allow the knees to work back in towards center. Notice how they want to open out. And yeah, actively pull them back in. Inhale, maybe push on the inhale, push the heels towards the hands. Use that resistance to find a bit of lift and the buoyancy of the breath. Exhale, well done. Release it all the way down. Allow your body to roll over onto the back. Roll over, bend your knees. It's going to feel like the yummiest pose after those intense heart openers and back bends, extensions of the front of the body. So allow the lower lumbar back to connect with the mat. Roll it out, you know it feels good. Anahata hugs the knees and massages out the lower back. So move whatever way feels good. Maybe take the knees and do little rolls. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. And then we're going to take the arms above the knees, above the shoulders. Deep breath in, and the exhale, knees go to the right, hands and gaze to the left. Inhale, you can use a bit of core toning here, so if you don't drop the knees and you don't let gravity take the weight of the knees, you can find support from the abdominal wall. Inhale to exhale. And I want you to do about 4 rounds of breath here and find that ringing out of the spine. Feels so good. Inhale to exhale. And in the meantime, I'm just going to set myself up for Shavasana. Okay, so take a few more rounds of breath. Rehydrate if you need to. And then go ahead and begin to assume corpse pose, or meditation pose, Shavasana. And well done if you kept up with that. Lie on your backs. Allow the arms and the legs to gently splay outward. Palms facing up. Maybe take the head into gentle rolls from left to right until you find that sweet spot at the back of the head. And when you found it, make sure that we have alignment of the head, neck and spine. Maybe shuffle the shoulder blades in, it's optional. Maybe shuffle the shoulder blades in towards center to find that, particularly as it's Prana, vayu, that opening of the heart. We might continue with that theme during this pose. So lift and open the heart. You can use a blanket to support the back, lower lumbar back, or a blanket behind the knees, so whatever is nice. I know a lot of people like to use the bolsters here in the class, so that's entirely up to you. I'm going to read because of everything that's going on currently, I'm going to read a little excerpt out of this lovely book, Earth Wisdom, by Glennie Kindred, and she's a wonderful author. It's a heartwarming mixture of spiritual and the practical and the provocative, and proactive. So let's just continue to find Shavasana, and we take it back to the subtleness of the breath and the subtle body, taking the focus away from the gross body, the external body, and the energy of the external body. Let's begin to soften it down using the breath. So please, I invite you to take a nice soft breath in and exhale nice and slowly. Feeling the chest rise in the inhale and the opening of the front of the body. And then exhaling, gently softening the breath. I want you to feel the breath rise and fall nice and gently. Find your rhythm, that natural rhythm. Connect with your heart, connect with those energies, and begin to see that rhythm begin to soften. Allow the connection of your back body to begin to soften towards the mat. Feel all points of connection through the back of your body so that you're aware of your connection to the earth. Back of both heels, back of your legs and thighs, hips, lower, middle and upper back, shoulders, upper arms, elbows, wrists and the side of your hands, at the back of your hands, depending on what way your hands are lying on the mat. So that the back of the body and the front of the body and the whole body feels connected. Keep connection to your breath, keep breathing. I'm just going to read you a little bit. It just flows nicely. If it's a bit heavy, just listen. You don't have to digest it, okay? Changes of the heart work by focusing on where we put our yes. Once we begin to live and work from the heart-centered reality, supporting and following our every yes, the waves of our positive action spread and ripple through the whole of the intricate web of life. We discover the most profound potential in the smallest of actions. Our actions today affect future generations and have far-reaching repercussions, creating ever-widening circles of positive change. We are no longer living in an isolated community. We are no longer ignorant of the facts. We are each responsible for our own actions based on informed choice. The choices we make in our personal lives will affect and shape the bigger picture. By every act of personal beauty and loving response, by every act that is life-enhancing, we make a difference to this world. So continue to stay connected to your breath. Begin to feel the breath as you inhale for 5, feeling the heart center rise and fall on 5. Heart rising on 4 and fall on 4. Heart rises on 3 and falls on 3. Rising on 2 to gently fall on 2. And rises on 1 to fall on 1. Being totally aware and bringing that awareness back into the room and back into your body as you invite subtle movements in the extremities, fingers and toes, maybe bend the knees, take the soles of the feet to the mat and begin to breathe into a stretch, lifting the arms up and over the head. And when you're ready, slowly bring it into seated position. And namaste all. Thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoy the video. I hope it recorded this time and I didn't make a mess of it again. I miss you all very deeply. I miss our personal connection, but if this works, hey, that's great. Tune in next time. Namaste.